This is not very optimal at this point. Yeah, and why did it spawn me in a tree? Wow, I must be stupid, because both of the polar maps are just on ice cubes in the middle of the ocean. And he ran into a rock. Mud Hut armor, best armor in the game. It went through his first stage, dude! Am I tripping or did that go through his engine deck? Hello there, I'm Chicken Farmer. Welcome to my channel. Today's video will be about the Magach 6. This video comes as a little bit of surprise to myself, as I never really was a fan of the Magach series or the M48/M60 series of tanks up till very recently, when I started playing them again just because I hadn't touched them in a little while, and honestly I've fallen in love with them ever since I started playing them again. I'm pretty sure I wasn't really skilled enough to really be able to handle these vehicles in the correct way, and I would always get so annoyed at the fact that it wasn't stabilized, the gun would bounce all over the place, that I just gave up on these vehicles. And I will say there is a massive difference between the 90mm and the 105s on these. Obviously it starts out with the M48s with the 90mm, and there's one later version of an M48 that has a 105, which is a vehicle I'm just about to research in the Israeli tech tree. But this one in particular, it has an M48 turret with a M60's gun and an M60's hull. Now, it does lack stabilizers, so the gun is absolutely all over the place, but overall this tank is surprisingly good. It's a perfectly well-rounded tank, honestly. It's just fun. The 105mm gun has APDS as standard, and it's actually really solid APDS, so even out of the box this tank comes out swinging. Later in the modifications you do get access to heat FS, and it's not that much better than the APDS, but it's just nice to not lose any penetration over distance and be able to ignore some armor angling is nice. You also have a little bit more post-effects damage on the heat FS than the APDS, but generally speaking, I do like to carry around a few extra APDS shells just in case there's an enemy behind soft cover. But yeah, overall this gun does punch through pretty much every single thing that you possibly can see in this thing. Every once in a while, you'll find an enemy that you need to pick apart one shell at a time, just because of the slightly lackluster post-effects damage of the ammunition on this thing, but generally speaking, it's a really solid gun. When it comes to armor, this thing actually can take a few hits. It's honestly surprising because I thought that these things were paper thin before, and if you angle your armor right, you can shrug off a few shells sometimes. It's definitely not something that you want to sit out in the open with, but it's definitely a tank that can survive a few hits if necessary. The crew is pretty tightly compacted in there, so it's pretty easy to get one shot, especially from the side. The ammo does take up a massive portion of this tank, as the first stage is in a very awkward location. It tends to get knocked out by the first shot that hits your tank. If your first stage doesn't get knocked out, then the rest of your crew members probably will. There's been many times that I've received multiple penetrations and somehow survived. I don't know how it happens, but it just does. Something that is a slight annoyance is the ammo racks. In order to remove all of the ammo racks from the driver compartment, you need to have 23 or less shells. And because this tank tends to require multiple shots to take out an enemy, I don't like carrying 23 or less. I just personally go for 34 or less. I know it leaves that ammo rack in the front compartment, but I'll take that risk for having extra shells to take out tough opponents. When it comes to mobility, it's actually pretty good. Its mobility to armor ratio is very good. Now, I will say stock, this thing is absolute just slug. This thing is so incredibly slow stock without the mobility upgrades that it will get very annoying for those of you that are stock grinding it. So yeah, I think that's this thing summed up pretty well. I think it's time to get into some gameplay. But first, please consider liking and subscribing. It really helps out a lot in this journey to making this dream of content creation into reality. Alright, time for the gameplay. I will say it's not the most armored tank in existence. You definitely don't want to sit out, but it can survive a hit or two if you get caught out. It's kind of nice. I do feel like this is a very good multi-role tank. You can sit back and snipe, or you can kind of be a little aggressive. That's a mouse. I genuinely couldn't make it out. I'm hearing, oh yeah, teammate. Mouse. Oh, he's got ammo for days. Oh, okay. Well, that kind of sucks. See, we've survived a few hits. Although, this is not very optimal at this point. Yeah, I didn't think we were going to live through that. I might not have backups on this thing. Yeah, I knew pushing up there would expose me to them. Oh, I don't have backups. Dang it. Okay, I guess see you in the next game. Something that is a minor annoyance for this vehicle in particular is it lacks 50 cals. That is one thing that I've been using a lot recently. I've been playing a lot of vehicles with 50s on the roof. The Magach 6A or the M60 has a 50 cal, but this one sadly doesn't. I just wish it did. I'm going to be doing a kind of like beginner's guide, I suppose. I know everybody's already done that already, but like I just kind of want to do my take on it. And if there's any specific talking points that I should have just paid attention and not just been sitting back talking about shit. This is just not going well. I really just thought it was a teammate's engine. I didn't look at the map to even check, but I just assumed it was a teammate's engine. And why did it spawn me in a tree? But yeah, if there's any topics that you guys have for new players, like, oh, talk about this specific ammo type, or talk about like how to take out this specific whatever. Just if there's any tips you have for new players, let me know and in the comments, and I'll add that to the video. Probably I'll be looking in the comments to see if anybody has anything that I could use in the video, just to kind of come together and point new players in the right direction. It's not gonna be anything too crazy. It's just something nice, because I've seen that I have some newer players that seem to be viewing my videos, and I think that's a good thing. And I want to be helpful to those players. I want to be helpful to the people that watch my videos. Not normally much help, but hopefully I will be with this new beginner's guide series. Every time I peek a corner, I die. So usually before recording games, I'll play a few matches in the specific tank that I'm going to be talking about, just so that I can kind of refresh my memory of it and just kind of get a feel for it, so that I can, when I'm doing my little rough overview at the beginning of the video, that it'll be a little bit more genuine. And things were going great in the matches I played before recording, but the moment I hit record, it all went to shit, and the enemy teams are just good, and I'm not good. I'm not playing very smart either, so that doesn't really help much. But yeah, it's just kind of annoying. It just happened at that specific, like, just happened like that. I don't know where he just got shot from. I don't even have a clue. I was hoping that I could bounce the gun down, but sadly not. Okay. What was that? Overpressure, I think? Oh, I should have aimed a little higher. I might have actually hit that guy. I really am not a fan of polar maps. The two polar maps that they have in this game. This one, and I don't even remember the other one. One with heli bases on every corner of the map. It's like on an island. It's like literally on an ice cube in the middle of the ocean. So that's one of those moments where if this thing had stabilizers, I would have easily hit that shot. But because the gun bounces all over the place, it's kind of hard. Because like if I slam on the brakes, my gun sight's just gonna go down to the like down so incredibly much. Like, my gun's just gonna dip so hard that I'm never gonna hit the shot. And the thing is, if I slam the brakes, it takes forever for the gun to stabilize. So, like, if I hit my brakes, like, look at that. Look how long that took for it to stabilize. Like, that is one of the big downsides. So just like my video on the M51, you do have to feather your throttle and get good at guessing where your gun's gonna bounce next. I was thinking that was going to do a little more, but this engine ate most of it. This is a moment where I kind of wish I had smoke grenades. Yeah, I couldn't get back in time. Gotta love autoloaders. Something else to mention, the Oregon, the 7.7 fighter, is actually really, really good at CAS. It's like I don't know, it's a good all-rounder. It's great for this loadout. Oh, both of the... Wow, I must be stupid, because both of the polar maps are just on ice cubes in the middle of the ocean. My bad. I was thinking about the other one. I thought the other one was like on an ice cube and this one wasn't, but they're both on ice cubes. Yeah, both of the ice cube maps can go to hell. I don't care. I hate these maps. They're not fun at all. I didn't even see him. Was he behind something? Oh, he's behind walls. And fence... Dude, I could not see him. Partially due to the bushes, but mostly due to the... Wow, this day is just... you know what? We're not going to play this one out. We're not playing that one out. Bro's got a bushed up IS-6. And he ran into a rock. That's the type of player I would expect to be in a bush up IS-6. I'm not even going to lie. That is the exact type of person. And what's funny is he did touch his turning keys. He wasn't just cruise controlling. Like, he wasn't just AFK. He was cruise controlling and he touched his turning keys. I left him plenty of room. You guys saw that, and he just still drove into a rock somehow. That's a BMP. Haha. The mud hut saved me. Mud hut armor, best armor in the game. Oh, there's someone in front. Oh, what? Oh, haha? Did that not just go through his engine deck? Am I tripping, or did that go through his engine deck? And why is this cap point so small? I don't think I've ever really capped this point before. Okay, mud hut armor did not work there. Well, I mean, I'm gonna be stuck here anyway, so... Oh. Cool. Not exactly sure where all my teammates are and what they're doing. Like, looking at the map, it just doesn't make any sense. Okay, cool. I don't know what he was aiming that at. Like, that wasn't a, WASD control one. That was a, wire guided. I don't know how he didn't hit me with it. Dude, my team doesn't know what a capture point is. Oh, man. It went right through his ammunition. It literally went right through his ammunition. Am I tripping, or he literally just... It went through his first stage, dude. It literally went through his first stage. Why? Why, man? Why? I know there's a guy on my left that is a threat, but I want to get him out. Okay, where's this guy over here? Right there. Okay, get the gun up. There we go. Okay, I guess this is the game where I do actually decently play it as it's intended. I want to get that guy, but I'm scared I'm like gonna get sniped by some guy up in these rocks somewhere. I'm gonna go for it. Did I call it or did I call it? Where? I mean, there's the mouse. Oh, I really didn't think I was gonna die to the mouse of all things, but the way he was peeking, I was about to put a shell in his ammo rack. He would have instantly died. Oh my gosh, look at this guy. He's all the way out there. He's like all the way. And he's gonna hit me perfectly in the engine. He's gonna reload faster than me too. He's gonna kill my gunner. That's something I actually never realized. I thought because my gunner was out, I thought I couldn't shoot. Wow, I am stupid. Okay. Alright, so that's the Magach 6. This thing is just an overall fun vehicle. Obviously, in the gameplay, I wasn't able to really, like, show you what it's truly capable of. I wish I would have been actually, like, recording earlier this morning, but, I mean, I was able to clip it, but I wasn't talking at all. And it definitely is not really anything worth throwing into the video, other than I think I'll probably have it on screen right now. But yeah, the Magach 6, this thing is just a great tank all around. It does everything quite well. It can survive some shots, it can dish out some damage, it can move around the map with relative ease. It's just overall great performer. And if you don't have any of the Magachs, don't get discouraged by the M48s. Don't get discouraged by that terrible 90mm on the M48s. Yes, you can get heat FS for it, and yes, it does make it playable at that point, but not only do you have APCR standard on the M48's 90mm, it's a disappointment of a gun, in my opinion. But this 105 is an absolutely wonderful gun, and I can't wait to continue to research through the Magachs. If you're grinding through these vehicles either in the American tech tree or the Israeli tech tree, don't get discouraged by the M48. Whatever you do, don't get discouraged by the M48. Get to the M60 and then make your decision on whether you like these vehicles or not. Once you get to the 105, then you'll be able to really perform in these vehicles. Yeah, that's my biggest advice, is don't get discouraged by the 90mm. Alright, so that's the video. If you enjoyed, please consider liking and subscribing, and yeah, have a chill day.